to find you completely nude, face down. I did not want to touch you, but my terror kept me in autopilot, and I continued to the best of my ability to give you therapeutic treatment. But at this point, it was clear that's not what you were seeking.
Not gonna lie, hard to watch. Shannon, what impact will these public statements have?
I think where we are right now, Skip, everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt. But I think because the pendulum was so far one way before the Me Too movement, Skip, is that the man always got the benefit of the doubt and the woman was never believed. And now the pendulum has swung so far, everybody automatically believes that she's telling the truth and no one wants to believe the man. So I think the thing for me is that, Skip, what I try to do when I hear a case, I always pretend like I'm a juror. I try to hold out, I try to withhold one way or another. Let me hear everything. Let me hear all the facts. I don't want to get caught up in a victim's impact statement because you got to be careful with that, Skip, because, you know, they're crying and they're emotional and maybe they've been traumatized. So I don't want to jump to any conclusion. And so what I'm going to do, I'm staying right here in the middle. Everybody's going to have their day in court now. We know who some of these women are. They're going to have to give their statement to Deshaun's investigators, and I don't know if they turn their statement over to the police. I'm sure the police investigators, and they're going to have to do all that. But for me, Skip, I'm not so sure that there are some that says he did it. There's some over here that says, nah, I don't know about all that. And then there's some that says, okay, I'm just going to wait and see. But I think what Deshaun has working against him is just the sheer volume. And they're telling the very similar story. It's almost like a MO, modus operandi. That's the method in which you operate. He did this. He says, okay, I need a massage. And when they get there, you know, and I guess that's the, for lack of a better word, I guess lure is such a sordid meaning behind it. But I guess that's how he gets the women to come to him, or he is allowed to go into their space by the massage. But for me, Skip, I'm gonna stay right where I am. I'm gonna give Deshaun the benefit of the doubt, although it's getting harder and harder because the women, more and more women are coming forward. And so I'm gonna wait till he has his day in court. I'm gonna wait till Rusty Hardin, his investigators, get an opportunity to talk to these women. Because I'm sure, look, the lady, one of the attorneys was reading a statement that she was, that one of the massage therapists was upset that Deshaun was naked on the table. You know, for me, I would just say, well, Deshaun, I don't do naked massages. And so this commences this session. And, but for whatever reason, she said she felt paralyzed by fear. Autopilot took over. Like I said, I've never been an assault victim, so Skip, I can't speak to that, what transpires in a woman's body and how trapped they seemed at the time. But for me, I'm not going to get caught up into the victim's impact statement because I think I'm going to give Deshaun the benefit of the doubt until he has his day in court. And then whatever they decide, I'm going to live with that also.
Okay. I hear you. We are still trying this case in the court of public opinion.
But that's what they want.
That, for now, is what this is. Hopefully, they'll have their days, as you say, in real court.
Yes.
These are all still accusations and allegations.
Correct.
But I must say, as just a viewer, just a bystander watching this unfold, that testimony that we just saw on camera from Ashley Solis was compelling and convincing. And immediately, Rusty Hardin, now the attorney for Deshaun Watson, a celebrity attorney who's defended athletes at the highest levels, immediately responded that Ashley Solis was one of the women who came forward early on.
Sought settlement.
And sought $100,000 in what Rusty Hardin termed hush money. The point of that is, money or no money, that does not diminish the fact that she says that she was so psychologically and emotionally damaged from her encounter with Deshaun that is still deeply affecting her life. So let's not diminish that as just seeking hush money. And to your point, we now have 22 civil cases filed. We have reportedly another woman who went straight to the police with her allegations. And just the gravity, the mass of the impact
groundswell of women that's coming forward.
is disturbing at the very least. And it doesn't look good for Deshaun.
No.
And by the way, Nike has now suspended their endorsement deal with Deshaun.
Right.
No big shock there. And after these two women have come forward and gone public with their allegations yesterday, it obviously increases the pressure on the National Football League to do something.
Yeah.
And we both said they're in a tough spot here because they're sort of waiting to see how it's playing out.
Well, I read that the NFL said their investigators to talk to the women.
Okay.
But Skip, if the NFL is going to intervene, it's going to be more than 2 games.
Well, the first order of business might be to put Deshaun on that exempt list, just to take him out of the NFL mix for a while, to say, you're there until we figure out exactly where this is all heading.
Correct.
And I think we all believe that Deshaun's tradability is getting close to zero at this moment.
Yes.
Until this all sorts itself out.
Yeah, they're going to probably end up having to give him away. What they thought they could get 3 first-round picks, Skip, they might be in a situation where they're going to be asking you, like, hey, if you come pick him up, you can have him.
Okay. And to your point about a suspension, if in fact the Houston Texans do want to hang on to him and want him to be their franchise quarterback, there's been a lot of, obviously, PR
I don't know if
damage
done. I think he's going to have to get a change of venue. I don't think he can stay there. I don't think he can be in the state in Houston. I don't think he can be in the state of Texas. I think that's over, especially with all these allegations that's coming out. And Skip, you make a very compelling point. Allegations is not guilt. So let's just let it play out. And I understand, Skip, there's a lot of women saying, a lot of them saying the very same thing of how it happened and what transpired. But for me, that's just an accusation.
Okay. And both of these women yesterday expressed that they had some shame that they didn't come forward sooner. And that is often the case with these victims.
Right.
So keep all of that in perspective, because it's difficult. We're on a debate show here, so there's nothing to debate here.
No, we're not. No.
But this is also a very important story.
Yeah.
And
this is serious.
it is extremely serious.
And where we are now, Skip, and where we probably should have always been.
Yep.
But where we are now, there's no more, she knew or she dressed and she had it. There's none of that. There's none of that position of power. And if you're in a position of power, that you should use that power. And so for me, it's just hard because, like I said, what we thought we knew about Deshaun Watson, how well do you actually know a person, Skip? How well do we? We thought we did, and he still might be the guy that we thought we knew. But there's a lot of, but this is that he put himself in he put himself in this position. He did. And so.
I told you the first day, I was a Deshaun fan as a quarterback on the field.
Right.
And if you'd brought me a list of 100 NFL players the first day this story broke and said, which of these players would be involved in this, I would have ranked Deshaun at the bottom of that list, and I would have been wrong.
Right. So it's just, it's sad. I hate the women. This is true. They had to go through this. If it's not true, I hate Deshaun is being dragged for this. But Skip, he'll never be the Deshaun Watson. When the allegation first came out, he'll never be the same Deshaun Watson before. He'll never be that guy again.
On that, we agree.
Oh, well, Skip, you mentioned that Nike suspended their brand partnership. He also works with Rolex and Beats by Dre, so we'll have to see. Those are some of the bigger partnerships, and he's got local deals. We'll see if those companies make a decision there. And this investigation is underway from the NFL. So the reality is we are months away from probably having answers here, and that is the latest with Deshaun Watson. I'm going to change gears. Bill Belichick, we need to talk about him a little bit. If he needs to revamp his drafting process, I've got an interesting story, so stick around for this.
No mercy, no mercy.